Man, isn't doing I fucked our intro, but isn't doing an essay bizarre now?
It is.
The concept of writing an essay with an introduction and a conclusion.
I mean, I guess what we're doing is kind of the close. It's funny in our lives. Technically, this is us like word essaying.
Yeah,
but then you'd have to do some heavy.
But we
editing,
wouldn't pass.
No.
Like if I handed this in for the HSC,
No,
they'd be like, God, no.
It's like you just you repeated what happened in Shakespeare's Othello, but added quips.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
There's nothing here.
And even though you wrote it, you've done it as if two people are talking to one another, which made it a very confusing read as a marker.
A yellow pen and a red pen. Hideous. Just looks dreadful.
Both of them nearly out of ink, so I just had to use the creases that were made on the pane by your blunt pen.
My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl. This is
I'm the red pen.
Oh, and I'm the yellow pen. And this is Who Would Watch This.
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Roadhouse, which currently has a 6.7 on IMDb, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 3.4 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot? I feel like you could even do it without looking it up. It's that thin.
Yes, you are right.
It's that thin.
A bouncer is hired to work an establishment, and he's got to gentrify the place. But there's a mean town fella. Actually, you know what? It's pretty depth. It's
basically an episode of Bar Rescue. And Patrick Swayze's like, I'll help
No,
out.
hang on. It's Bar Rescue if that guy at the end suddenly walks in, instead of he's like, I fixed the place, starts killing everyone, and it'd be a better show.
You've clearly never finished an episode of Bar Rescue.
I always turn
exactly what happens after he walks in.
What's that guy's name? I love him.
I have no idea.
Oh, God. I get all
I'll
the
be
clips.
honest, I've never seen an episode.
I've
I just know
only
the
seen
core
it
concept.
only in full TikToks, you know? I've seen an episode broken down into 28 parts. Carl, but before we get into that, do we go back to last week? Boy, watch Roadhouse?
I'd love to go back to last week. Last week was a pre Roadhouse week.
We can't keep saying that. Every movie we keep inventing a new era for. Like, it was a pre...
We can invent
It
eras.
was a pre-Roadhouse...
If it's good enough for Taylor Swift, it's good enough for us. We can have an era.
Carl. Roadhouse, the new one, is coming out. And what's the director of the new one?
Doug Liman.
He's not chuffed. It's not in cinemas. I mean, give it to us. It's a big win for us.
Yeah, we don't have to go to a cinema.
Save myself $20.
So good. Are you mooching someone else's Amazon Prime?
Oh, no one paying for Amazon Prime. That's the one that somebody wanted to get something shipped once, paid an extra $3, and now we're jumping.
Everybody's using them. They reckon there's like 300 million subscribers. It's one guy named Craig in South Australia, and it's just trickled across the world.
Amazon stock prices would plummet if Craig stops subscribing.
Oh my god, he's chipping away at that company $9.99 a month at a time. It's incredible.
So Roadhouse is coming out. We think it's gonna be fun.
The new one?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I thought it was because obviously Roadhouse, this one, like the one we're going to review, is a famous film.
Yes.
That I know strictly through Family Guy and only assume it's of high quality because of the Family Guy gag. Other than that, I just know that my brother's watched it and he raves about it, but I know he only watched it because of the Family Guy gag.
That's huge. I like that Family Guy's had that impact. What's that awful bit they normally do where they do a long song of a 70s singer? Hated that as a kid. Now maybe it hits, but I don't know.
I mean, sitting through an episode of Family Guy now is tough.
It's tough.
But there's some good gags in there occasionally. Yeah. But I'm getting off topic. Either way...
Family Guy is the topic, by the way. We're discussing the episode of the Roadhouse one.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Great. Peter needs a DVD.
No. This Roadhouse... Wait, sorry, the new one?
Yeah.
Go on.
So there's a new one. There was a new one coming out, and then we were all crowded around a TV.
Yeah.
I had seen the trailer that morning, and I said, we should watch the trailer for the new Roadhouse film.
Yes.
And it went over well. Everybody went, that looks fun.
Yes.
Look at Conor McGregor trying.
Yeah.
Huh? Look at him trying to squeeze
having
out.
fun. He's having
fun. Is he doing a good job? Nah. But we were all like, okay, well, what does the original one look like? And then we were all like, that looks like it slaps.
It does look like
we
it slaps.
simply must watch that and then watch the new one. And I was like, let's just do those on the pod because we deserve a little treat. And also, this one is rotten. So
that's huge. Okay, nice.
So we have no idea what the next one's review is going to be, but we know this one's rotten.
That's great.
So we're actually in. I have no idea what to expect other than I know it's meant to be very violent.
Yep.
Patrick Swayze is meant to look very hot in it, and there is a Roadhouse.
I mean, that's pretty much ticks all our sort of criteria for picking a movie, and I guess a Family Guy reference in there is really the cherry on top, huh?
It really is. We're also going through like a Patrick Swayze era.
Oh my god, we raved about Ghost, and I just think
Ghost is simply the best.
Guys, pause this podcast.
Watch Ghost.
Watch Ghost. That's all we have to say.
Again, I couldn't say this more. Don't even return to listening to us ever. Just go and watch Ghost now, and then never
live a
return.
happier life.
Live a better life than we live.
Carl, who do you think is going to watch Roadhouse, huh?
Oh, it's got to be Swayze. Crazy Swayze fans.
Yeah. Those Swayze heads are pretty insane, okay? They've been rioting, they've been looting. It's pretty destructive, but that's the thing about Swayze, you know?
I think it's also got to harken in on like, what is it? This is like early 80s
Yeah.
movie? Yeah. This has got to be like pinnacle early 80s action,
Yeah.
right? Like this has got to be for that demo.
Yes.
So I'm going to assume it is for the cult hit, ultra-violent action 80s
Are we thinking,
movie
is it
audience.
like B-movie? Is that what it is? What is the vibe of this?
Well, I don't know.
Or is it
I
like
don't
an
know
actual film?
I don't know what the budget is. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if I knew the budget, maybe it's like, oh, there's some money behind that. I
Yeah.
don't know when in his career this is. I think it's pre-Ghost.
Gotcha.
So it's, because Ghost was like,
So it's PG.
it was PG.
Yeah. But not P is R. But
It's R,
yeah.
but this is PG.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have no idea.
My God.
But I assume it's a real movie. I don't know. I don't know. Imagine if it turned out this movie was not real.
Yeah, imagine it was just like we tricked. Just like
Yeah.
sometimes there's some films out there you just think they didn't bother making the film. No one's gonna watch that. Yeah.
Oscar, who do you think's going to want to watch this?
I guess if you watched Ghost and didn't like it, I guess you're wrong. And I guess then start on this one, then go back to Ghost.
I think it depends where on Ghost you would fall, right?
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
guess
Ghost is everything. It's every genre.
Ghost is for everyone, but it's like if you only like the beginning of Ghost,
Yeah.
then you're probably going to like Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
But if you only like the end of Ghost, then I would assume you might like Roadhouse
Yes.
because it's
If
the
you like those
violent-
ghosts torturing a man, you're gonna love. I love Patrick Swayze's Ghost. Is like really like you send you off. It goes like you go to each one. You go.
It's
"Oh,
the film for it. It's the perfect 4-quadrant movie.
Yeah.
A child would love it.
Yeah.
A baby would love it. A fully grown adult would love it. And someone on their deathbed would love it. Because
Yeah.
they know, hey,
that's
there's hope.
that's the producer quadrant. That's producer quadrant.
Yeah, that is. That's every single person in Hollywood wants the baby to the teen to the adult to the dead.
The deathbed market is huge. You would not believe how much money there is in aged care.
Remember that guy that was like, hey, I want to watch Dune 2 before I die? And
Yeah.
Villeneuve had to send his assistant with the laptop to
Yeah.
there, and then he only watched half and then he died.
$4 billion that cost him, huh?
Yeah, it was worth every penny.
Carl, who would watch this? Okay, straight off, let's just do it. It's everyone.
It's for
it's another
everyone.
ghost. It's another ghost. Oh my God.
It's another fucking ghost.
Swayze has not fucking missed. That's the guy. My God.
And
If
as far
Dirty-
as I'm concerned, he's only done these 2 films.
Oh, yeah.
I refuse to admit he's done another. He's done Point Break. He's 3 for 3,
Oh, and
honestly.
if Dirty Dancing is just sick, I'm gonna love it.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to watch Dirty Dancing.
Carl, let's just talk about the vibes real quickly. It is like, you are right. It's a proper 80s, like, macho karate film. The plot is thin. And
It's
it's
so thin.
so
It's
cliche.
simply waves of he'll fight someone, he'll chat to the love interest, and then he'll fight someone, and then he'll chat to the love interest. And it's just ups and downs for, I'll be honest, probably too long, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I didn't love everything that was happening.
Every second was perfect. Oh my God.
Let's just begin with Swayze's haircut. Is
Swayze's the hottest man. I know this is, and apologies to Jake Gyllenhaal, but maybe not, because I assume a lot of Swifties listen to this podcast. He cannot fill these boots.
No, he can't.
There's no fucking way. Swayze's the hottest man that's ever lived.
he must have been shaking in his boots
Oh,
when he
yeah.
got cast in Roadhouse. Imagine being like, I've got to follow the Swayze. I've got to follow the Swayze in this.
Oh, yeah.
Just me, Lucas Gage, and Conor McGregor got to follow the Swayze.
That's a fucking tough act to follow.
It's a
and,
tough
and he
act to
makes
follow.
it tough, okay? 'Cause let's talk about Swayze. Gorgeous. The tightest jeans you've ever seen.
Mm.
A singlet that won't quit. And a haircut that is this gorgeous mullet. It's, I don't know, 'cause what's his name? In The Thing. What's his name?
Kurt Russell.
He also had a similar hairstyle to this. It's like a semi-mullet. Fucking slaps. This
Yeah,
is
it does.
gorgeous.
It really looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why the mullet's back.
Yeah.
But also, nobody's wearing it as well as him.
No.
So I don't know why the mullet's back.
think
Unless
the-
you can wear it like Swayze,
The dirty
don't
mullet.
bother.
The dirty mullet's back.
I
The sort
hate
of-
the dirty mullet.
No.
Not a fan.
A groomed mullet? Holy
Oh my
shit.
god, a Swayze mullet?
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Jesus Christ.
I would be intimidated. Sexually intimidated by a man with a Swayze mullet.
Here's the thing. I'm talking Swayze. Like, it's not even, we're in a different league, you know? It's like there's us, and then there's other guys, and then there's Swayze, and he's way over there.
Yeah.
There's just no fucking, this man is the hottest man that's ever lived.
This is the horniest movie I've ever seen.
It's good stuff,
It's
isn't it?
so incredibly horny. And that's just not that there's like this sexual chemistry on screen. It's that I was simply horny for Swayze for most of the film. That's how good the film is.
How do we get introduced to Swayze?
So he's at a pub.
Yeah.
Well, no, not even a pub. He's at a club. He's at a roadhouse, maybe.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Anyway, a fight breaks out.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed. He doesn't care. They go, hey, let's take this outside and I'll fight you. He walks them outside stoically.
Yeah.
They get ready to fight him. He turns around, walks back in. He doesn't even use his fists.
Now you'd think, this is you introducing your character. Many people would say he's cowardly, but he's got some clever on him. This is the sickest fucking move I've ever seen. And that's the Swayze effect.
Right.
That's the Swayze effect. You'd think you'd be like, oh, he bowed out of a fight, he tricked them. No, he beat them.
Somebody should make a John Wick movie where his sternness means nobody gets killed the entire film. He just simply sterns them down. It would be amazing. Imagine getting to the final fight where they've got swords and motorbikes and stuff, and he just sort of sterns them.
Because,
and
nah,
they
guys,
just
not
sort of curl up.
Not today. And they go, he's nailed it.
He's absolutely...
Or her, huh?
Yeah,
that's
or
right.
her, huh?
Yeah.
It could be Atomic Blonde.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I watched that. I think I've said this on a podcast. I think I've watched it twice, maybe 3 times in the cinema.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Don't jump down my throat. It's an audio medium.
For the listener at home, Oscar just went, I've seen it twice, put up 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Idiots!
I said 2 or 3, and my brain... Anyway, I've been very drunk at the cinema.
How old are you?
I don't know, about 50?
Look at that, closed fists at me.
I'll be so goddamn stoned if you keep
don't
talking.
You dare. Don't try and kick me. Try and kick me from over this table.
We get introduced. He's a bouncer. In this world, bouncers are gods, I think.
They're their own... Like, I wasn't aware the career trajectory you could have as a bouncer. Patrick Swayze's offered $500 a night. $500 a night.
Yeah.
In 84. What is that in dollars? A cool mill?
A cool mill.
Like...
Yeah, a Swayze mill, huh?
It's a Swayze mill.
Yeah, so we've got this guy. He's run into some money, and he's bought himself a roadhouse. He's like, Swayze, I like your shit. You didn't beat that guy up, and that was sick.
This is a great establishment because you're here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy you out of this.
Yes.
And you're going to go immediately tonight to my pub, I guess. I do love... that Swayze, we have no context for how long Swayze's worked at this establishment, but his boss walks in and Swayze just goes, I'm leaving. And the guy's like, damn, that's it. That's the whole, for all we know, he's worked there 40 years. I mean, he's not 40, but for all we know, he's worked there his entire life and he's just gone, I'm leaving.
It's crazy because then also you think, because now we'll learn who Swayze is as a person. This boss is absolutely lost an absolute character. It seems like he's the god of bouncing, essentially.
It seems like if you've got him in your back pocket,
Yeah.
your place slaps.
Because, I was under the impression a bouncer only stopped people from, getting rowdy, doing RSA, all that stuff. It seems like Swayze has the ability to gentrify a bar. Yeah.
Swayze knows what the people want.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy
He's got interior design, he's got a uniform situation going on. We'll find out a bit later, but he's got the whole bar.
He knows etiquette.
Yeah.
He knows how to make sure people are safe. He knows how to make sure people are having fun while drinking.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's superpowered. He's Nanny McPhee for
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
Except he gets hotter the better the bar gets. I guess that happens in Nanny McPhee as well.
No, but imagine if Nanny McPhee started off as Patrick Swayze, and then just Nanny McPhee, I don't know, by the 3rd kid gets happy, takes a shirt off. That's the Swayze does.
It would be like if Nanny McPhee started as Patrick Swayze, and by the end of it, really was Patrick Swayze.
Yes. You're kind of like at the start, was that Patrick Swayze?
Is that Patrick Swayze with a mole?
Is that Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing? No, that's Patrick Swayze.
That's just Patrick Swayze being him. That's the Swayze now. Him. Look at him go. This new bar that he gets hired to go to is a crack den.
Oh my
Let's be
God.
honest of its quality.
Yeah.
The bouncers, if they wanna get somebody out of trouble, they cause more trouble.
Yeah.
They throw somebody into a table.
I'm
they
talking.
smash drinks.
We've already had a bar fight at the last bar we're already at. Which, in fairness, as a job interview, the guys come up to him. He's already started a bar fight. Bad on Swayze. But hey, this new bar, dreadful.
And Swayze doesn't lift a finger.
Yeah.
First night, $500 paid, doesn't lift a finger.
He does a soup nanny. He assesses the situation.
He does.
Yeah.
We've seen this character introduced 20 minutes now.
So
Two
far,
fights have happened around him,
he's
and he
avoided
hasn't
both
lifted
of them,
a finger.
and he's stolen money. And yet, I can't stress this enough. We're already in love with Swayze. I don't know how he does
can
it.
do no wrong.
Yeah.
This character is unlike anything ever. He's the coolest human being. No wonder people are obsessed with this movie.
Yeah.
Because writing a character that doesn't lift a finger for the first 20 minutes is bold.
It is.
And it works.
It's like, what's it called? There Will Be Blood. No dialogue. Just score. But instead it's Swayze, huh?
It's just Swayze. It's like if PTA went, I want all Swayze, none of any of the other murkiness. Like nothing else. Also, this place has like a caged band.
Yes. This happened also in Blues Brothers. I guess this is just a thing that happened in the 80s.
I guess so.
Bars were odd back then. Do we think bars are like... Because now all bars are gentrified, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They all sort of have like a Kmart aesthetic.
Yeah, they've got those high
Fake
stools.
marble.
Yeah.
Like they're all very bright and
A
colorful.
lot of beers,
Yeah.
and there's too many beers.
Where's the dinge?
Yeah.
You know, where's the dank?
You need some dank, huh?
You do need dank.
Yeah.
I don't like walking into a venue that feels dry.
Yeah.
Like they care about it being dehumidified.
Oh yeah, you hate to walk into a bar. What's that? Dry lips. Yeah.
I want to slip.
Well, actually, it's like a little trick, you know, because then it dries you out, so the whole place is dehumidified. You want a drink, you know? Where are you gonna get a drink? It's a bar.
But here's the thing. Once you have a beer, you're more dehydrated. That's what you forget.
Most people leave bars absolutely dehydrated. That's really what a hangover is.
I know for sure.
I have 2 beers and I'm literally... My skin is just dry.
I
just
come out
peeled
like a
against me.
rugged sponge looking for a soaking. That's me every night I go to a bar.
Every night.
Every night.
No.
Should we inform the listener? I'm a raging alcoholic.
Raging alcoholic. You have a
I
bottle
need
of-
help.
Yeah.
Oscar's refused to. He's already offered me a beer. He's not even drinking.
No, I'm a pusher. I'm a pusher.
Yeah,
I want
you are.
to see how dry that sponge can get, huh? Let's just get into some of the bar hijinks. It's a classic bar rescue. You got the people stealing from the till. You got an angry bouncer. People are fondling women. We should probably talk about women in this. You know, it's probably not great, but
Look,
hey,
here's the thing about this movie.
go on, defend it.
No, I'm not going to defend it. I'm just going to say this movie is not even concerned in the slightest of wanting a woman to like it. Not in the slightest. And that's the movie's choice. And it's not a good choice. But I don't know what else you want from it. It's just good. No, it actually is for women because Swayze's front and center.
Oh yeah, true. That's the thing.
Here's the thing: the women are there for Swayze. The men are there for Swayze.
Yes.
You know, it really is a 4-quadrant film. Take a baby to this as well. I would say.
So,
Either way, don't come here for female representation
No.
or empowerment.
and yet it's a slut fest. God, it's hot as
Yeah,
hell.
I don't think one, it definitely doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
I don't think it does, and there's a lot of arcs for the
I don't
women.
think it wants to.
I don't think the arcs for any woman even gets fulfilled.
I don't think there's an arc for anyone in the movie. I don't think you could even say Swayze changes. In fact, his arc is, I guess, he got worse and succumbed to the murder.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll get into what Swayze is.
It's really a cautionary tale of
just-
how hot you can get. Like an Icarus in terms of attractiveness.
Except he didn't fly too close to the sun. He's in the sun, burning, and he's nailing
He
it.
only got hotter. God, he's incredible.
Now, we get Swayze. Again, he has not broken up a fight. He's assessed the situation and gone, I need a home. So he goes to an old man in the middle of a lake, I guess. I don't know where you find these. Where would you find a home back then?
I don't know. I guess in the newspaper, which
Yeah.
is why it is funny that the entire conflict happens across a lake.
Yes.
Like I don't know, Cheaper by the Dozen too.
Yes.
It feels very. I wish they'd competed in just like summer games.
Eugene Levy is over there. And
I think so.
Yeah, it's really a rich-off.
I wish it was a rich-off. I wish hijinks ensued.
Yes.
You know?
It is funny that if Steve Martin was just a bit more stoic, he could have defeated the whole thing, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God.
And didn't have 8 kids, but that's just his choice, you know?
Cheaper by the Dozen 3.
We did. Remember, we reviewed it on the movie. Remember
That wasn't a 3. That was a whole new
Zach
one.
Braff was like, a lot of kids
That
died.
doesn't count.
A lot of kids
I want
died.
Steve back. I want Eugene back. I want Tom Welling back. I want Hilary Duff back. I want Taylor Lautner back.
Little
I want
ginger-
Ashton Kutcher back.
I feel like one of them's called Toad, is that correct?
One of them's got a toad.
Yeah, I think they call
And
him
they
Toady.
mock him.
Yes, I agree with those kids. They're right.
They were right to mock.
Yes.
How'd I get onto a cheaper by the dozen tangent?
Across the lake levee.
There we go. He gets a place.
Yes. He gets a home on the lake. It's a beautiful...
It might as well be from Architecture's Digest.
Oh, it's stunning.
He could do one of those YouTube videos.
It looks like Troye Sivan's house, you know?
It does look like Troye Sivan's
That beautiful barn style. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Troy would love it here.
Yeah.
Troy probably loves this movie.
Yes.
Mr. Sivan, if you're listening, let us know if you love his aesthetic of a home.
It's beautiful, but what's across the lake, Carl?
The richest motherfucker you've ever seen.
The
villain.
The town. I just love this movie. It's not even going for that. I get why it's so rotten, because I think a snarky little critic in 80s going, how bland. The rich man, how cliche. And yet we've been starved, Carl. We've been starved for 40 years now.
I could understand how in the 80s this would be a bad movie.
Yeah.
But because there is a gleeful logics out the windowness to the film, it's totally fine now.
Yeah.
It just rides a line where you go, I guess for some reason he's going to live across from the villain over a lake.
Yes.
We see like helicopters. It's very intrusive. It seems like the weirdest place to have put a mansion when you know there's like a cattle herder
There's
across
a little
the way.
squatter. There's a squatter. This old man's squatting, okay? Yeah.
I couldn't believe how nice Patrick Swayze's home is. It makes you consider how nice the guy's home must be.
I mean, that's the thing. It's 80s like aesthetic. So he's got like a rundown like old country barn, which I think's in at the moment.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
in.
It's tasteful.
Most rich people in LA live in what Patrick Swayze's living in here.
Oh yeah, and I think that the rich guy has like that sort of like Trump 80s aesthetic, like maximalist stuff.
Fresh out of the movie Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps.
Yes, very much that. But we get introduced to the villain. His name is Brad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, I paid him no attention.
Brad Weasley.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
What, his last name's Weasley?
Yeah.
I love that for him.
It's so good, right?
That's incredible.
It's
That's
like-
good writing.
it's good writing.
This didn't
It's
get
good
an
writing.
Oscar?
No, it didn't.
You're kidding.
It's ridiculous.
I would have given everyone an Oscar. I would have given 4 to Swayze. I would have given him lead actor, actress, supporting actor, and supporting actress.
That's the whole quadrant of the
I would have
people
given
that
him all
watch it as
4.
well.
Would have given him all 4. I would have given him Best Picture. I would have bypassed the producer and handed it to Swayze. Should we talk about some of the other colorful people in the film?
Let's talk about some colorful people.
Specifically, Red.
Oh, I gotta tell you, there's this nice little old man who works at the old mechanic place. His name's Red. He's lovely. Swayze checking out his car. Swayze has 3 cars. Is that correct?
He gets a lot of cars.
He's got his nice Mercedes, which he drove to this town in. He has a decoy car because he knows that because he's going to be essentially firing. He's gentrifying the whole bar. He's fired the whole staff.
Crazy. The owner of the bar's given Swayze the power to fire people.
Yes. Day one.
Yeah, day one.
Yeah.
Just been like, a real Gordon Ramsay aesthetic.
Yeah,
like,
no, he just comes in trailblazing. He does everything. You know, he fires the stealing. He steals the guy who's like groping women. Fair enough. He's right for that.
He's right to
He's right for all
turns
the
everybody.
firing things.
He gets rid of all the bad culture.
Yes.
He really makes it a safe space for women.
Yes. Well, there's still a cage.
But the women don't get stuck in that.
Oh no, it's just the blind bar staff.
Oh yeah, that's true. We have a blind man on the guitar.
Yeah,
he's
fun.
behind the cage.
Yes.
Which is funny because when they throw a drink, it shatters.
Yes.
And it just wets and glasses the people, which makes me think maybe he got blinded by a bottle.
I'm thinking, yeah, it's crazy that you'd have to have a chain link fence before it was staged. I guess we're a bit privileged, aren't we?
I guess so.
You never had a bowl thrown at you, have you?
No, never. Never had like a hot bowl of
high
soup
life.
thrown at me.
Oh, in a comedic sense, you've had a cream pie thrown at you.
Scolding at me.
Oh yeah.
I would love to get hit with a cream pie.
I'm confused at a cream pie's function other than comedy. Because what is that as like a meal? It was just a bit of pastry and a lot of whipped
I think
cream.
it's only for comedy.
It's only for comedy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I don't think you've ever
I'm okay
gone to
with
a
that.
bakery and ordered a cream pie.
Yeah, cool, nice. Okay, I'm glad. Because I was a bit upset. You know, I just don't think that's on.
Do you want a cream pie for your birthday?
I feel like you're gonna don't. This is disgusting. This could get to.
It's a shame this is an audio medium. I'd love to throw a pie at you live on the air.
We are live in the
We're always live. It's not my fault nobody's around to hear it. It's live for me.
Now we get he fires the bar, and guess what? Half the bar staff somehow are connected to Brad. It's a bit tangible. It's like that was my brother's friend.
It's my brother's son.
Yes.
And then that
but they
woman,
all
that
kind
woman there, I think, is also related to me, but it's my bouncer's Squeeze.
Yes.
And she was hitting on Swayze. No, there's a real... it's this tangentially
the Kevin
all
Bacon's
connected.
degree one. It's like, I know him, I've seen him, but so if you even fucking fire him, I'm gonna kill you, Swayze.
I also couldn't really tell anybody apart that just wasn't Swayze.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy how much they just look like back fodder. Swayze's gorgeous, and then you just got the muck.
yeah.
There's you can tell by body shapes. I think that's it. There's a real fat one. There's a skinny one, and then there's a lot of mediums.
They're all just sort of Three Stooges-esque. There's a Curly, a Moe, and the other.
Yeah,
Larry. Larry, the forgotten stooge.
No, famously, he's kind of the Ringo Starr of the Stooges. You know?
Really?
The best one.
Is Sam Mendes going to make 3 movies about the Stooges and have them intersect?
He's actually doing 6. He's doing 9. He's doing a trilogy per one.
He's doing every actor iteration of
I
the
gotta
Stooges.
tell you, the life of Moe is a harrowing one and needs to be captured over 3 films.
Absolutely. It's so dangerously close to the life of Pi. It's just with more cannibalism.
Anyway, so
Just for context as well with the gag I made, Sam Mendes is making 4 Beatles movies.
oh yeah, we probably should talk
Just
about that.
in case you don't understand what I'm talking about.
I think that's fun.
I think it's fun. I have no idea who's anchoring for 2 of the 4 films, even 3 of the 4 films.
Whoa,
But,
okay, a big Ringo head over here, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Who's gonna go first? And if theirs sucks, who would watch the other 3?
I guess I think you got a bookend. You got to do John Lennon, and you got a bookend with Paul McCartney.
Right, and then you got to do the filler
You got
Beatles.
Ringo's. What if Ringo's the more interesting one?
I know. Well,
because I think he was.
Are they gonna go more outlandish in the directing style to make it more interesting and exciting? How are they gonna do it?
I think Ringo's life, because it seems like he was just a bit passive and just kind of vibing the whole time. So it would be fun if there's a marriage story happening in the next room and he's just doing blow.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
If I was the children of Ringo, I probably would just be like, "Can I halve one?" With me and him will have a dual one, Just do 3. I've only half a life.
That's crazy. The 2 dead ones, you guys are gonna half a movie each. George Harrison. Nah, man.
I just don't know what Ringo's done where I'm like, yes, 2.5 hours in I go, give me another 20 minutes.
I'm talking the octopus. Well, I think Ringo's one, because here's the thing. I think you think Paul McCartney and George Thingamajig's going to be piss easy, that I think they're going to go, let's overdo Ringo.
No, I think they're all going to struggle. I think you're going to be
You reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon they're all going to struggle?
I think they're all going to be I don't know, other than... I would just do a Beatles. I think it's an interesting, considering how many biopic movies there are at the moment.
Yeah.
I understand differentiating yourself and doing something creative, doing a movie per Beatle.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. You're essentially pitching 8 hours of Beatles content. Just do a series at that point.
I mean, you can just watch the Peter Jackson one. My only
They
thing
will
would
not
be...
grow old. I don't remember them going to war.
Shut up. Back to Roadhouse. We'll finish
For
this.
context on that joke, Peter Jackson made a colorized version of War called They Will Not Grow Old.
And it was stunning.
And it was gorgeous. And then he also did a Beatles one.
Now,
I've
Brad,
been told
shut
by
up,
listeners
shut
to
up,
contextualize
shut up,
the
shut
weird
up,
movie
shut up.
things that I...
No.
Don't you tell me to shut up. I am a man.
Who's been telling you
I
to...
am a man.
I'll be so goddamn stoic. We're getting to the big
What?
thing
Don't
now.
you point at me.
Brad?
Don't you say the word 2 and point a 1 at me.
Brad and Swayze meet.
Who the hell's Brad?
He's the villain.
Oh, fair. I remember you bring that up earlier.
A big fight ensues. I love the fights. Do you
Anytime there's a fight,
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
It's great stunt work.
Yeah.
It's great for everything breaks. Or they've got breakaway glass, breakaway tables, breakaway bones. Everything breaks. Also, I love that Swayze has the eyes of a hawk.
Yeah.
Somebody walks in with a shoe knife. He goes, boom, shoe knife.
He is assessed. He's assessed. It's... I mean, I've been watching a lot of Always Sunny. It's nuts how much this has been taken from. I feel like the whole arc of Mac has just been taken from Swayze, but I love it. I feel like it's been so impactful, these 80s sort of vibe, and especially this film feels like it's impacted the
generations.
Yeah, 100%. Right.
Well, not generations. It's impacted a single generation that saw this movie at a cinema or on VCR.
Anyway, so this big bar fight happens. Swayze, who By the way, his name's Dalton. I think he fucks Dalton. Dalton's a good name.
Dalton's an incredible name.
But here's the thing. It could not be a good name. I don't know. But it's only because I've only heard it on Swayze that it works.
I'm going to name all of my children Dalton. And whichever one turns out cool, the other ones I give away.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
For free.
You gotta kill.
And I say their names were like... Larry.
Yeah. Mo.
I don't like I don't like making fun of anyone's name, but
I'll say, you got something on the tip of your tongue.
No, I won't do it.
You mocked the Beatles, but you're like, no, I'll draw the name. Just vague names.
We have listeners.
Also,
that
can I just say,
can we just
real quickly? Your name's Carl. I feel like you've lost. You can say whatever you want because your name is inherently silly. Like, no young person should be called Carl.
Who's to say I'm young? They've never seen my face.
You're a haggard old man, but then you'd match because that's what Carl is.
People
You're an old curmudgeon.
People forget you're like the little chubby kid and up, and
Yeah.
I'm the old one and up, who's also called Carl in that picture.
See, that's the thing. Carl is an old person name. Anyway, mock whoever name you want to say.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Oscar. I just didn't want to. I wanted to wait for you to look away before I insulted your name. What were your parents thinking?
Swayze gets stabbed.
Oh yeah.
Chills. I didn't know this man could get hurt.
Neither.
Luckily, he's in the hospital, Carl.
And we meet the love of his life.
Yes.
A woman that maybe has lines through the film.
Yeah. It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
I do feel bad for this woman because she, at certain points, almost is not in this film in the sense that she's pretty horrified of what's happening. Like the fights, I think she reacts to the fights quite well, just like in the sense of, hey, this is not on. And everything that seems awful, she's like, that was genuinely traumatic. And Swayze just breezes on past.
She sees more and more gruesome things throughout the film. And she also has a line that she thinks that he should never cross.
Yeah.
And once he crosses it, she's still fine with it.
Yeah.
So I guess also she doesn't stand by her own values, which is worrying because she's a doctor.
Yeah.
Which makes me think she's maybe stealing morphine.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm projecting on.
Yeah. Seems like you're a bit of a stealing or morphine kind of guy.
Well, most doctors I know steal morphine.
Yeah.
I don't want to out any listeners.
Anyway, so we find out this whole town's a bit corrupt, Carl. Brad has got this sort of 10% tax levy on the whole town.
This was the funniest reveal in terms of what the villain's plot is.
Yeah.
You please explain.
Well, it's like he has a lot of money. We go, oh, how's he got money? It seems as though, I don't know how it started, because he seems like he's bought the cops off, so then he can then mug the town, essentially, shake them down. So everyone in this town, what is the town? I don't know, 500 people has to pay him a little tax.
Yeah.
And then he pays off the cops.
It's just like a rich person tax.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, just don't. And they're like, no, but if we don't pay it, we get punished. And I'm like, but you get punished if you do pay it.
Yeah.
There's no winning.
This
is a
winning.
bad town.
It's crazy that no one reaches out a bit further to, I don't know, a bit higher than the cops. Because there's 8 sheriffs, and they're all on his books. But he gets away with a lot of crime.
Yeah. It is honestly on the same level that it's like when Lily Gladstone's character writes to the FBI, and it's like, you've got to come down here, because this town's getting fucking nuts.
Jesse Plemons walking in, just I heard you guys been driving monster trucks over car rental places.
I've been down here to see what's happening with these monster trucks.
Let's get into the monster truck scene. Because we go, oh, that's an odd thing that they're shaking down the town. One of these car mechanics ain't paying the bill. I think you're very silly for assuming that, hey, maybe you should just not pay the thing, because look what happens. The film explains it immediately.
Yeah, but it feels like this was going to happen either way. Like, they pre-picked that they were like, we should get a monster truck in case we have to shake down that one business. It was nuts that they introduced a monster truck in the first act, and they don't pay that bad boy off for an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. And it was...
You're meant to just sit with the monster truck. I don't know what the culture's like in America. You can't just drive a monster truck, I assume.
Well, when we were in Texas, do you remember we got an Uber driver who was in simply the biggest car I've ever been in?
It was insane.
And we all had to climb up inside
I don't want to... you had to properly...
You had a ladder. To get up on a ladder. It was in between a monster truck and just a regular truck, but it was for Uber. I couldn't believe it.
And still 5 seats. That's what blew my mind. It was
nuts.
we're actually packed in here.
Yeah, it was. It would have blown my mind if that was a pool. It could easily be an Uber pool. It could have fit in more.
It was physically a pool in the back.
It was simply a fucking pool on wheels. It could fit more than 90 Olympians swimming back and forth. God, America was nuts.
It is nuts. Anyway, this monster truck fucking destroys this car a lot. It looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Are we happy with the explosions and the sort of
practical
stuff?
effects,
Yeah.
all the stunt work? I love it all.
I mean, it's weird because I feel like these movies got shat on back in the day because they couldn't use like CGI, and now it's kind of this sort of like good for them for blowing up stuff.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just... I think the other thing, too, is I guess you look at this and you go, this movie definitely put a lot of people in danger.
Yeah.
I think that's the... When we go, oh, God, I wish there was practical effects, and you go, yeah, but the way they used to do it was go, you know what? Health's out the door,
Yeah.
safety's out the door.
There's
you
this-
just stand there and hope you're not in the blow-up zone.
There's this great shot when the monster truck's going over the cars, and the camera is like of under the car.
from the wheel.
Now, it did seem like it was handheld, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, holy shit. Commitment to the bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should also go on the fact that the fight scenes, seemingly from the trivia that I do not know if true or not, but some of them weren't choreographed, and Swayze simply beat the shit out of other people.
Yes.
And they
Consensually.
consensually beat the shit out of one another, and he ruined his knee so bad he had to do a non-physical movie like Ghost next.
Yeah. Because it is crazy that I feel like now seeing this film, it seems like he was like of that age of like 80s action stars that can do karate, like the Steven Seagals and everything like that, and then also kind of act.
I do love that for some reason in the 80s, everyone knew karate.
Yeah, that was
Everyone knew
That was
karate.
really it. It's weird who have like sustained. Like you got the Stallones and like Arnold Schwarzenegger, really. But like most of them were like karate-based guys.
Yeah.
It was pretty much The Rock, but you had to do karate. Now it's just kind of what, like 50-year-old wrestlers.
Yeah.
I guess no, it's just Dwayne really.
No, Cena and Batista.
But they're like auteurs now.
I think after you've seen John Cena at the Oscars, I think it's just Batista that's the auteur.
Yeah, fair enough. You've not seen Blockers? Oh god, give it an
You're not seeing Stanky Ricky or whatever it's called.
Stanky Ricky.
What's it called?
Snickety Rickety.
Stickety Ricky. It's not called that. Rickety Snickety or something. Rickety.
I feel like
Crockety.
we're in the middle. It's like Snicky Ricky or something like that.
Snicky. Ricky Stanicky.
That's
I
it.
think it's that.
It's that.
Right?
Yeah, it is that.
All of our titles are better.
Oh, 100%.
We should get the Stock on You brothers to have retitled it to Sneaky Stickety. I do also want to bring up about this monster truck.
Yes.
The villains sneak around town in it. Like, they're doing stakeouts in a monster
But
truck.
I love it. Whenever they're doing a stakeout, the guys in the car kind of bow down a little bit, like, we're getting away with it. This thing guzzle. It's literally, I think you can't get 50 meters without filling up on petrol.
They absolutely have to sneak around without it turning on. So they're just releasing a handbrake, putting in the clutch, and hoping it rolls forward enough over, like...
Crushing anything in its way. It's just it's like a house moving castle of destruction.
Just over a pram. There's a sex scene in this movie.
Yes.
The sex scene takes place against simply the most uncomfortable wall I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It's jagged. It looks rough. I don't know why anyone would be happy about it. They then go and have sex on the roof outside.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show Swayze's a true gentleman.
In what sense? You think fucking a roof is gentleman-esque?
You never been on a roof?
No, never.
Really?
It's a risk. Okay?
What, it's slanted?
Yeah, of course.
What, you reckon that wall was OH&F's approved?
I don't think it was at all. I think he was being a risky man. I think he took a further risk by going out to that roof. It's ridiculous. It could be
She
wet.
went out to the roof.
Yeah.
He was already there.
Yeah.
So it's, whose fault
Oh,
is
you're
it then?
victim blaming immediately. Wow, the film's done enough damage, and yet here you go, spitting on the grave of women, huh?
The main thing I want to bring up about this sex scene on the roof
Yes.
is the villain watches them.
Yes.
And I think that's sinister enough. But they've made the decision to put the villain in a rocking chair, and it makes it so goddamn sinister that he's rocking while watching it.
That's the thing. I feel like maybe this film is... I don't know. I quite like the direction of it. I think the stunt scenes and everything are quite nice, but I think all the other sort of scenes are framed quite nice. I just think it looks quite pleasant. I don't know whether that's because it's just like a very practical movie and that's just how you had to do it back then. But I really like the feel of the film.
Yeah, early in the movie, his car gets wrecked, and then later when Sam Elliott's in the car with him, Sam Elliott's framed by the shattered glass hole in the car for their scene. Which is just nice.
There's a lot of nice framing. I think even that roof shot, I mean, there's beautiful windows pop up. It's just, there's a lot of lovely shots. And I think it's upsetting that this film is a bit famous as a bit of it's like a grindhouse film. But really, it's, I think, pretty good. I don't know why. I get the critics. It's very easy to shit on.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
so basic.
But there's, I guess because so much nowadays can come across lazy from a filmmaking standpoint, that when they do, there's some really good tracking shots.
Yeah.
Whenever when the villain's sitting still and Swayze just does a 180 around him, it's a very simple tracking shot that is probably just to save money.
Yeah.
But by now standards, you're like, oh wow, that actor learned a little monologue and he delivered it well, and they caught it all in center of camera in an interesting way.
I don't want to make it too simple, but I'm thinking maybe just it just was not getting the coverage back in the day. They were we kind of know what we want. Now I feel like it's very much there's 8 cameras.
They've got to get all. I guess it's probably because it's easier, right, for them to go, we'll get 3 camera coverage of this scene, so we've got choices.
Yes,
and then potentially as well with pacing today. Obviously, more cuts gives the illusion that things are
happening.
Happening. So maybe it's just a simple. It could be producers that are asking for it. But it seems funny, especially when it seems any movie that decides to do a long take, everyone's like, a brava! Bellissimo! A long take! And it's now they're doing it in shit movies, and you're just okay, well, I guess long takes aren't special anymore.
Yeah. It's odd. But I would like to praise it. It looks very good.
It does. It's a really fun, practical 80s movie.
Yes.
I don't know if the budget is $15 million. Do we think that's big for them?
I think semi-big. I think,
so we think it was a moderate budgeted film.
I reckon, a 60 million, you know? You've got a big name. Or was he a big name?
I don't know. He would have been off of Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
So Dirty Dancing obviously was a pretty mega hit.
Yeah.
So but I don't know if
So a Call Me By Your Name, I'm talking Timothy Chalamet. You got a 2019 Timothy Chalamet. Yeah. I got this, about 60 million. You got a Lady Bird Timothy in Roadhouse.
Fairly moderate. The budget would be worth 45 million.
Yeah,
today.
nice little mid.
Yeah, so it is like a second John Wick level budget.
Yeah. You mentioned Sam. Can we get into Sam?
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott.
Oh my god.
I feel like we all know Sam Elliott. He's the cowboy in most things, in The Wrench, but also The Big Lebowski.
He's always very upset if a cowboy movie has any sort of gay theming.
Yep.
Look at his comments on Brokeback Mountain and The Power of the Dog, and you'll see him very upset about cowboy depiction.
Now, you have mentioned that. I do feel a bit silly now. This is now also the hottest he's ever been. So I do
absolutely.
His views.
He's going to hate that we thought he was hot in this.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
But I thought everybody was hot in this movie.
I'm going to masturbate to the image of him. That'll show him. Well, that's for your views. Now,
Sam Elliott with his arms crossed. Stop it.
Don't love that.
Don't love that at all. Oh, no. I was in Ghost Rider.
I was in Rickety Snickety.
Stankety hanky.
Stankety hankety. Oh, shit. Okay, that's rackety dackety.
Fun fact, Sam Elliott hated Power of the Dog, loved Ricky Stenicki. Loved it. Thought Zac Efron was way better than Kobe Smith McPhee or whatever his name is.
Anyway, he's very stunning. Now we did mention that the bouncers have this sort of godlike power. He's sort of like the tear up of a Scientologist, I guess.
It's fun that they can call one another and they're like, which bar are you at now? And they're like, I'm in Nebraska now. Yeah. I've moved on to another bar. It's like these two people seem to control the bouncer network that is across America.
There is a network, it seems. They all get a special power. They're entwined.
Yeah. When they do the remake, I hope it's more network. I want to see... I said during this movie to everyone, they should have done one of these movies in every single state of America.
100%.
And he just fixes up a roadhouse and beats the shit out of people.
Again,
every state.
You have just explained Bar Rescue. That's just all that is.
God, you're so right, though. Or a My Kitchen... My Roadhouse Nightmares.
Oh, so good. We should talk about the gentrification. This place is now, it's hopping and popping. but it is very clean cut.
Oh, absolutely. Here's what's sad is while Swayze's character knows Bolton or Dalton.
Dalton, that's the main.
While Dalton absolutely knows how to save a bar, he has stripped this bar of its character.
He has.
What was fun about this bar was the fights.
Yes.
There's a lot of bad things that were about that bar.
Yeah.
But the fights really were a nice grind.
I mean, here's the thing. It really is Nanny McPhee, isn't it? Because now I guess the kids have all grown up and they're now good. I guess now he would move on to another thing. He's really just gentrifying the whole neighborhood. Is he a good man? I don't know.
Because of this gentrification and because they're not going to pay the villain.
Yeah.
The villain's getting very upset.
Yes.
And he decides to blow up Red's store.
Yeah.
This explosion's spectacular.
Yeah.
And every explosion from this point is the biggest goddamn explosion possible at the time, it seems.
I would like to say, at this point, we all screamed out in unison, "Oh no, Reds." Like, we were in this film 100%. Red's place blows up. I think at this point now we're at because up until now, we've heard it's been quite a hectic movie. Been pretty tame-esque.
It's been a lot more tame than I thought it was going to be. Apart from there is a sick flip in the movie. A really incredible flip up until this point.
We should also say Brad has a second-hand goon.
Yeah.
Who's kind of he's got the Conor McGregor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he just flips. His flips are simply spectacular.
Yeah.
I would watch a full movie of him flipping around the place.
It's a shame that Conor McGregor is technically a very good fighter. However, I don't want that. I want a movie fighter.
I assume Conor McGregor is going to flip.
Yeah.
If he does not flip, I shall not watch.
They're mixed martial arts, so I guess they can do flips.
He should be able to do a flip. If we should hold this accountable for next week's episode, if Conor McGregor does not... If Conor McGregor does not flip, I shall not watch.
If Conor Snickety don't go flippity, I'm out, buddy.
If Ranky Stanky Conor McGregor does not flippity flop, I shall not watchity watch. We're gonna have to watch Rickety Stickety now, or whatever. What's it called? Snanky.
It was loose.
Skanky Mahanky.
Hanky Banky did that little danky and his little stanky manky. Ooh, rickety dickety. Oh, shit, my pickety.
It's the longest title ever, and Amazon Prime's biggest hit to date. People said the movie did not live up to the hype of that title.
Now, let's get into the third act, because this is where it gets fun.
Yes, absolutely. The third act's balls to the wall, nutty. Just like them just being like, we're going to kill some of these lead characters if you don't know what you're going to do. Like,
Brad goes, all right, and I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan took this straight from Roadhouse. He goes, hey, Patrick Swayze, I'm going to kill your best friend Sam or your squeeze.
Yeah.
You decide. They're at this location or this location.
He goes, I'm not going to decide. You do whatever you want. And he's like, I'm going to flip a coin then. Turns out Sam Elliott's stabbed, and it just says it was Tails. It's
that
the
is
coolest thing ever.
So far, Brad has watched him have sex, and yes, now he's back. Now he's on line with Swayze.
It's crazy how passive of a villain Brad's been. He's just a voyeur, to be honest.
So far, he's just been cucked. He's like. And so far, he's winning, I think.
So far, all we know about Brad as a villain, he's a perv, and he's a high-interest owner.
Yeah, and Swayze has not done much. In fairness, it's crazy this film works.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, But then maybe Swayze's asking for it because he did naked, Tai Chi earlier, and then he fucked on the roof under the moonlight. I guess if you're in the rocking chair already, you're not going to get up.
No, you're like, I gotta watch this.
I'm already rocking. I can't stop until this momentum falls.
Anyway, we kills Sam.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Not good.
This changes everything.
Yes.
Sam and Patrick have had a beautiful friendship, I guess, over the movie.
Yeah.
They had an all-nighter and went to a diner.
Yeah.
It must have been a weird vibe having an all-nighter and just still drinking around people eating breakfast, getting ready to go to work.
That's the thing about the bar life. They are nocturnal, so they're getting fucked up in a bar. It's like, can I get a McMuffin? And just like, dude, I'm 19 beers deep, and I got stabbed moments ago. You're like, oh, the vibe is off, okay?
I've got an office job to get to. It's 8:30 a.m. They're like, cool, can we get some shots?
Sam's been killed, and now Swayze's like, well, fuck this shit. I'm going to go home. And I'm going to fucking get my revenge.
And then his home blows up.
Yes. He can't catch a break.
He can't catch
There's
a
about
break.
8 explosions.
Yeah.
Who's there? Brad's second in command.
Yeah, he's trying to escape
Mr.
on a
Flippy.
motorbike. He was seconds away from, I guess, having planted the
How
explosive.
good is this? He jumps and
It's a great stunt.
Swayze knocks him off the bike. It's so impressive.
Yeah.
They have a fight.
They have an incredible martial arts fight under the moonlight of a lake, and I can only assume Brad's watching from afar. That little voyeur.
Oh, he's rocking in that chair, and I'm saying he's rocking hard, okay?
Yeah, he's still stuck in it from the night before, being like, God, I hope someone comes and gets me
There's
soon.
a lot of momentum to these chairs. God damn it.
It's really low. I can't get up with my knees.
I think this is just such a good film. I mean, they're having a fight. It climaxes. He rips his fucking throat out, Carl. All of us on the couch couldn't believe it.
We jumped up. We
Yeah.
leapt with joy.
That was
It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like my brain cells may have gone down to like a 60 IQ. That was the sickest shit that's ever happened.
The whole time we were like, this movie's
Yeah.
what's happened in it?
Yeah.
When this throat, like the fact that he rips a throat out and then kicks him into the water,
Yeah.
and a woman watches it happen, like, huge.
He's rocking his chair. Brad is like, all right, that's not good.
He then drags him over the lake and, like, spins him in the water over so Brad can, like, see the body wash ashore.
Oh, God, it's great.
Oh.
Anyway, Swayze is now on fucking high command. He drives his fucking car into the compound. He flips the car, burns everywhere. What's that? He ain't in the car, Carl. What's in the car?
The knife was driving.
The knife was
it was
driving.
the knife that was driving.
The tails knife was driving.
The tails knife was driving.
goes-
What a payoff.
He just starts clucking them off. Just starts killing them to shit. It's great.
He's throwing knives. He's missing shots. He's kicking people. I think there's one person that we should talk about.
Yes.
There is a man that throughout the movie has been fairly useless.
Yeah.
And during
Oafish.
very oafish. And during this scene, a polar bear falls on him.
Yeah.
We get stuffed polar bear.
Yeah, he's like a hunting room. He's got like a bunch. He's got a polar bear. He does the.
He seemingly dies of fright. It was a really bizarre part of this, a near ruining moment of the climax when he goes at a falling
Because he sees it
stuffed
go.
polar
You
bear.
can tell he's not crushed by the bear, but you are right.
He seems seemingly fine.
He's
but
been Scooby-Dooed. He's seen a ghost.
yeah, it does. It's massive Scooby-Doo vibes. It was just a bizarre part. Like, I guess it sort of pays off. If there's one thing I'm unsure of about the entire film, it's this one scene with the polar bear. It really is played in the most bizarre way. Like, they were like, no, play it more like Wile E. Coyote.
Anyway, Brad just shoots him, which, guns, you bring a knife to a gunfight, foolish.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Dalton here, so he's going to fucking destroy, huh?
Yeah.
He gets Brad, beats the shit out of him.
He absolutely beats the shit out of Brad. And he goes to rip his throat out.
Yes.
Like it's his classic move. I guess
Yeah.
he did it to... We haven't really talked about Dalton's, like, dark past, but I guess he's ripped the throat out of a man before.
I think that's his his troubles to bear.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Like, he loves ripping
He goes
throats.
to go for a punch, but he's got the hand fist of a throat grabber.
He's sort of like how the Predator likes the spine of a human.
Yeah.
Dalton seemingly loves the throat of a man.
And who can blame him? You've seen Brad's
The
neck.
best part of the man.
Oh my
it's the
God.
Adam's apple.
And he takes a bite. He shows mercy to Brad.
Yeah. Which, thank God he did, because at the same time, the doctor walks in and she's like, oh, thank God, he's not a murderer.
He's not a murderer. The house scattered with bodies.
Scattered with bodies.
One man who's terrified.
Scared half to death. Brad gets up and he goes, now that he's had mercy shown,
Yeah.
he's going to play dirty.
Yeah.
And he goes to shoot Dalton. A shot out of nowhere speeds through Brad. Where the hell did it come from? Red.
I'm talking all the people he did wrong, and by that I mean just Red, the old man who owned the house, and another fella. Oh, the car mechanic.
Yeah, the comic. It was...
Fair enough. I think the car mechanic should have beaten him to death with a hammer. Like, that
I'm
is
not
so
surprised the car mechanic killed him.
Yeah.
Like, if the other two people hadn't been like, we should kill him together, I reckon he probably should have still killed
He's
him.
going for the neck. He's just biting it. He's just fucking him up.
It's just, and then they gaslight The police?
I gotta tell you, the police really walk into essentially a murder house, go, what happened? Dalton goes, nothing.
Dalton, covered in blood. It wasn't me, sir.
His hand still in the neck throat grabbing motion. He's like, listen, officer, nothing. And the cops go, cool, we're not going to investigate.
Yeah. They're like, look, we've taken a lot of dirty money over the movie. We're just gonna let's burn this place to the ground and let's all go skinny dipping in the lake.
It's great, because we were talking about this as the film pretty much ends. The film's not going to go. I feel like modern day films have that sort of like.
They're like, let's wrap up arcs. Let's
chat. Yeah. This film, we've got the blind guy singing a song and credits are rolling.
Absolutely.
We have no idea what happened to Dalton, how he got away with it, what his life's going to be, or he goes on to moving mode bouncing.
I know. It really was simply the most perfect ending where they just went, you're not interested anymore.
You're done.
Here's who made the film. Get out. I've never felt so shoved out of watching a movie before.
Oh, yeah.
It felt great. Oh.
Carl, who would watch Roadhouse? 80s version. There you go.
1984.
There you go. A little clarification.
I think... is it actually 1984?
I don't think it is 1984. That's the year of the book that I didn't read in high school. 1989.
Okay. Roadhouse 1989.
Yes.
This movie is for anyone who's ever wanted to feel like violence is the answer. It proves it. Every problem solved with violence, even though the movie sort of starts out being like, nah, what if there's a code? Yeah. That's out the window.
Yeah.
Sometimes violence really is the answer. And if you've been looking for that as a moral code in a film, you found it. It's this one.
I guess that is the issue of like why it's so poorly reviewed at the time, because I feel like if you're like a new film comes out of this that like is embracing this and going, yes, this is okay, then I guess the moral outrage is like, no, it's not on. When you have a bit of time to like assess it, go, okay, we didn't kill everyone through cool throat ripping, because it's fine.
But the thing is, it's like, yeah, Dalton I guess didn't do the final kill, but the townspeople rose up and killed the villain and then gaslit the police.
Oh, okay, Mr.
So it's still
you want to protect the police, huh?
I'm not protecting anyone. I'm just saying.
You want to protect the rich, huh? Okay, well, how about a little
Brad
more...
had a few ideas. The idea of that chair facing an open window, smart.
He should be rewarded for his ingenious. Now, yeah, it is. I mean, I get why it's poorly reviewed, but it is just so much fun.
But I get why it's a cult classic.
Yes,
it is so much fun.
Yeah,
it's oozing with charisma, excitement, violence, stunt work, explosions. It doesn't move at as fast of a pace as I think you would expect it to move, and that's also a bit of the charm to it.
I think so.
I do sort of miss that these very heightened action movies, for some reason, would always spend a lot of time on the romance, which is something they don't
you were
bother.
saying it's just like you couldn't get porn back then, so you'd have to, rent this DVD.
Well, I feel like that's the reason there's like softcore porn in this movie.
Yeah.
Is it's like... And why I don't think there's a lot of softcore sort of sex scenes anymore in film is because, well, what's the point? What are you competing with? The internet.
Yeah.
So, which I guess is a sort of slimy thing as to why those things occurred in mainstream movies and like from the 60s to the 90s. But I think that's why they were in there. But yeah, if you want a movie that's violence is the answer, here's your film.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Swayze has not missed, and dare I say we've only watched his hits, so I
refuse to watch his L's.
I'm not watching an L. I'm not watching an L.
I've seen 4 of his. I've seen Keeping Mum.
Yeah.
I've seen Keeping Mum.
People like Keeping Mum, don't they?
I like Keeping Mum from memory. I like Keeping Mum. Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
This movie.
You count Donnie
Ghost.
Darko? It's crazy.
He's in Donnie Darko.
Yeah, fair.
Crazy. He's in the movie with the guy that replaces him in fucking Roadhouse.
Oh, that is nuts.
Isn't that nuts?
That is weird. Jake Gyllenhaal
Yeah.
would have. That is crazy.
Isn't that kooky?
That is kooky.
What a real fucking Ricky Stadickety.
Oh, that is a
What
classic.
a kawinky dinky.
That's the new movie. That's the sequel.
Oh, my mistake.
Skadinky badinky.
They're pumping them out quick. They said any movie that rhymes, put it to Amazon Prime. Oscar, who would watch Roadhouse 1989?
Oh, man, that's a toughie. It is. I really do think what it's trying to do is a good... Like, it's trying to be a fun action film that has little to no plot and very cliche. And I think it does very well. I don't know whether that's them trying to achieve that or if they've tried to make a good movie and they've done this.
It doesn't feel like they're reaching for more.
It
seems their objective was to go, let's make a kick-ass movie.
Yes.
And they just decided to do that.
I think so. I really like it. I don't think we get many of this on this film. I think go watch it. It's a really fun cult classic. I think it actually does have something to offer, though. I think there's interesting shots. I think the editing's quite fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's great. Check it out. Huh? Hopefully the new one's good.
Who's it for?
You want to get a quadrant. And I'm talking you want to get a baby and an old man. The middle, won't watch it. I'm talking deathbed and baby. The deathbed person, they're dying. And that's fine. Free euthanasia. The baby learns a lesson. Violence is the answer. I think that would, breed a better world.
A baby brought in on violence and a man taken out through violence.
Oh, yeah.
How poignant of you
It's poignant.
to suggest a baby and the elderly should watch this film.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of...
I guess this podcast really is just nonsense.
I'm the leader of this podcast. I kind of, do all this sort of, pretty highbrow.
I think this podcast is simply betas. And there's no alpha here. There's nobody to lead the pack.
There's a couple.
It's me and you umming and ahhing.
There's one rickety and there's one snickety. And guess what? It's not good.
We're both snickety. There's not a single rickety between us.
Oh, Carl, what are we doing next week?
Next week, we're doing Roadhouse.
We're doing Roadhouse
again. We're doing Roadhouse 2024.
Oh my god, huge.
Straight to Amazon Prime. Doug Lyman's not happy. He's like, you said this would go to cinemas. Jake Gyllenhaal's gone, what are you talking about? We took large paychecks for this to go to a streaming service. Who's lying? I don't know. But it went to South by Southwest, and who's to know?
Who's to know?
People are in it.
That's enough.
It's in the Florida Keys now. That's fun, right?
Oh, that is fun. I
guess. I don't know if it's in the Florida Keys. From the trailer, it just looks bright.
It looks bright. A lot of sand.
Yeah.